Fine print. If anybody wants to have this in bigger print, let me know. I just didn't want to kill too many trees. So there is a sign-in sheet for staff, and there is one for the residents. But I'm gonna have you right now.
Yeah.
couple more minutes, and then we're gonna get started. Just in time. Turn that off so nobody calls me.
Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
How are you? Good. Thank you for coming. Thank you for being at this wonderful community. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Regina New. I'm the Security, Safety, and HIPAA Supervisor for Seacrest. And I started working at this awesome place here on April 26, 1996. So it's been a minute, right? So, yeah.
When are you moving in?
Hey, I told Carl I need a bunk bed. I'm on the waiting list. So, but throughout the years, you know, because when I started as the driver. So I drove the big bus and drove everybody all over the place. And then eventually I went into security. And as time went on, here was 2007. Anybody know what happened in 2007? Fires, right? And we evacuated. Seacrest Village evacuated. We had about 250 residents at that point, and we were gone for 3 days, 2 nights. And when we came back, the residents all called it a slumber party. Okay? So we even had one resident, the family came, they wanted to pick her up and take her to their house. She said, "What's wrong with you? I'm not going with you. Finally, there's something happening in this joint. So I'm going with them." It turned out to be one of the most scariest times for us, the staff, and also for the residents. It turned out okay, really okay. How do we do that? Well, a little preparing. And that's what I want to go over with you today, to see what it is, how you can help yourself and the staff and this whole community to, God forbid, we have to have another evacuation, to make that as successful, and hopefully it's going to be another slumber party. Right? So let's see. Hold on. Let me get my technology. There you go. Hey, it worked earlier. So there are 2 parts to this presentation. The first one I want to go over is the fire alarm, because that sometimes it's a bit scary, and a lot of times residents don't understand or don't know all the things that are happening in the background, what you don't see, what you have, you're not involved in the training that we do, right? You're not sure what's all happening. The only thing that you know is there's a bunch of noise, and it hurts your ears, and there's a bunch of doors that are all of a sudden closed, right? You're like, what the heck? Did they lock me in? No, we didn't. So what actually happens once the fire alarm is activated? So how does a fire alarm get activated? There are 2 ways. One is the smoke detectors, right? Those are the ones that you really hate when you burn toast in your toaster, right? And then the other one is the fire pull alarm. And we have a bunch of these all over the community, but please don't go and pull on this. Even though it says pull down, don't say Regina said I should pull it. No. This is just for you to know we have these devices in place. So if we really do have a fire, and for some reason the fire alarm has not been activated, we can go and activate it this way. Okay, so either the smoke detector or the fire pull alarm. That's how it gets activated. And then what happens? A bunch of noise, right? And there's the lights blinking. And in here, we have them right there on the wall. You'll see the lights blinking, right? For those that are hearing impaired. So, and then these doors will close. Right, that's over by Mel's place, and then they close. And that's when a lot of people think, because these doors are super heavy, but they're heavy for a reason. They're not locked, they're just heavy, right? And they are heavy also to discourage people from going through them, because you shouldn't. You should go in the opposite direction, because usually within what they call a smoke department, there's an emergency exit. So we have to go toward the emergency exit instead of through the fire doors. Does that make sense? Yeah.
Why do those doors shut?
Okay. What do you think? Anybody have an answer for that?
Electromagnets on the wall.
I said, why do they shut? What is the purpose?
They shut so the smoke doesn't go
Exactly.
throughout. It's localized.
Yes, exactly. So we can keep the smoke on one behind those doors, right? So it helps us to contain the fire. These fire doors are actually rated for an hour and a half. So that means it buys time. It really does. It buys us time. Because if we have to really evacuate the whole building, right? If it's building F, if it's building A, or building D, if we have to evacuate the whole building, you can imagine it takes a little bit of time, right? But not only these doors are fire rated, but also your fire doors for your apartment. And if you look on the side of the door, there is a little tag on there, unless the painters have paint over it. But we always pay attention when we paint the doors that we don't paint over those tags. Those doors are usually rated 20 minutes. So your fire doors are rated 20 minutes. That buys us time. You should be set, unless of course, again, if you set off the smoke detector and the smoke is all over your room, right now we have to get out. But if there is no danger in your apartment, you can stay in your apartment. Okay? So the other thing that happens at the same time, while the noise is going on, the lights are blinking and the doors are closing, there is a fire alarm panel that looks just like that at the front desk. And what it does, in here, in this little window, it will tell us the location where the alarm was triggered. Right? So it will give us, if it was your apartment, it will give us your apartment number, and then we know, okay, that's where we need to go. Does that make sense? Right? That's how we know. And again, a lot of these things, you don't see what's happening in the background. Right? So, and then once we know the location, at the same time, the alarm company that monitors the alarm will notify the fire department. Okay, so the fire department is already going to know, oh, there was an alarm triggered at Seacrest. And then you most likely will also hear overhead paging. Right? They'll say, code red, building A, room 204. Code red, building A, room 204, right? And you'll hear that 3 times. And then if you're standing next to somebody with the radio, you will also hear it over the radio. Because we have all these multiple communication tools where we can make sure that the staff knows where the alarm was triggered. Okay? And then you're going to see us running. Right?
That's scary.
Right? We're all running. Like we're having a lion chase us, but we're trying to get to the place where there is the danger. So what are you supposed to do in the meantime? Okay? So the alarm's going off, it's hurting in your ears, the doors are shutting, and there's no danger in your apartment. Well, right now, if we were in here and the alarm would go off, if there is no danger, what are we supposed to do? We're going to stay put. Right? At this point, right now, we would just wait right here, and then most of us would be running, but one of us is going to stay with you. So, and then everybody else is going to respond, and you guys are just wait here until we get further instructions. Right? Yeah.
Regina, some areas, especially like our area,
Mm-hmm.
Seacrest at home, we cannot hear
Mm-hmm.
when that code red is being called.
Mhm.
We hear something, but we cannot
Yeah.
hear what is being said, and the
Yeah.
volume is not such that we can hear
I
inside
know.
our office.
I know. It's not foolproof. We have to find a way to fill that gap with your office. We don't have
I
a...
don't know, am I the only one? I mean, especially as we get older.
No. It's because there's no speaker close to your radio. We can't page over the phones anymore, and you guys don't have a radio. So there are 3 gaps that we somehow have to fill. We'll figure it out. Okay? Just keep reminding us. But when the front desk, when they're paging, when the alarm goes off, trying to call everybody, it doesn't work. So we have to figure out a way to fill the gap with you guys. Because if we really have a fire, we're going to need all hands on deck. Right? Yeah. But
Can the residents hear that inside their apartment?
No. Cannot hear the speakers in the apartment.
Okay,
No. Because they're only in the hallway.
got it.
Okay? But know that we are on the way. Know that we are communicating. Does that make sense? And then for you, if we really would need you, we know how to get a hold of you.
Sure.
Right? We'll send the smoke signals.
Yeah.
And it's the same with you guys. Just because in the beginning of the incident you don't hear anything and you're like, well, what's going on? We are responding. We are a smidge busy trying to figure out, do we really need to evacuate? Do we need to use the fire extinguisher? Not yet, right? Give us a second, give us a couple of minutes to figure out what we need to do. If we really need to evacuate, we will come and get you. Okay? And I'm going to get to that in a little bit more detail. So what can you do? One of the things you can do is what you actually see on this picture here. We have egress maps all over the place. And sometimes we don't see them because they're part of the decoration. But if you start looking for them, there's maps on the walls and on each floor that will tell you where the emergency exits are. I think it has the fire extinguishers on there. You know, a lot of information that will help you to figure out how do you get out. What's the closest way for you to get out, the best way, right? So here in independent living, if you smell smoke and you want to start evacuating and get out, you can do that. In assisted living, just wait until the staff gets there. They will come and get you. Because if they don't, they have to answer to me. I'm kidding. They actually have to answer to Carl. Right, but does that make sense? We have to, you guys, you can start, if you think there's danger, start evacuating. But in assisted living, wait until the staff tells you we're going to evacuate. Yeah.
I just want to emphasize, that's if you're smelling smoke.
Yes. Only if you're smelling smoke.
In the meantime, the best thing you can do, if you're in your room, that's a fire door. You stay there and you wait for one of us to come and get you.
So that's if you smell smoke. So if you have immediate danger in your room, or you think you live near the dining room or the kitchen, and you think, you know, I should get out of here, at that point, you can use that map and go to your nearest emergency exit. But otherwise, if you are in your room, if we are here and an alarm goes off, the best thing we can do, since we don't smell smoke, we don't see signs of danger, would be to stay put until somebody tells us, or I get a radio call saying, okay, you know, we're going to do this, or everyone's going to come to the synagogue because that place, it's safe there, you know. So the best thing for us to do is stay put in the meantime where you are. Okay?
What if this happens in the middle of the night?
If this happens in the middle of the night, my staff is very well trained, and we will respond. Yes, there is less staff, but then the fire department comes in, and we will get you to safety. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead, yeah.
For people that can leave the facility themselves, is there an assembly point somewhere else in the rooms?
Yes, and I was going to get to that, but yes. For, what building are you, building A or building F? Building A, it's actually the parking lot right outside along Seacrest Way, but more further toward the Stein Center. Okay, that's where we gather everybody together. Those of you who are able to leave, let's say doomsday arrives, right? The zombies are coming, and you guys want to leave, you can, just let us know. We need to know, because if you didn't let us know, we're going to put our lives, and the firemen are going to put their lives at risk to go back in the building and search for you. Does that make sense? Yeah.
You said that the phones are not working, so how can we let you know?
You can go to the assembly spot and talk to us in person.
Everybody's still there.
Yes,
Because fear sets in.
yes, 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 yes. I did not say it's perfect. There is no perfect disaster. There isn't. Look at, I know, what is it? Helene. Look at Helene. Look at Milton. There is no perfect disaster. There isn't. right? The best thing we can do is kind of think this through before the emergency arrives and come up with some kind of a plan for ourselves, but also for the community. And then we're going to do the best we can until we know better. And when we know better, we're going to do better. Does that make sense? Right? I'm not going to tell you, oh my God, everything's going to be just so fine and perfect. We're going to make the best of it so that afterwards you say it was a slumber party. But when you're looking at it, right, from when you're facing it, it's super scary. Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Are we gonna have a fire drill or an emergency drill of some sort this year?
Yes. 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 We've been talking about it. Yes. We're gonna do. We did it 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Now it was before COVID, right?
Yeah, before.
Yeah, BC, right? Where we actually practice, we just, I don't know, did we set off the alarm? I think we did. We did? Yeah. We set off the fire alarm, and then everybody evacuated. We notified everybody we're going to do a practice drill with the residents, with everybody, and then we just practiced how to get out and where the places are and so on. So we are going to do that. Okay? All right, let me get to the next slide here. So, have you ever noticed on the inside of your door, in building A and building F? Do we have them in building D too? I don't think so. No. But in building A and in building F, you have these fire safety instructions that you see every day, but you don't see them. Am I right? So, take a look and study them, because it tells you see the red X, that's where you are, right? And it should say that on your apartment door too. And then it will tell you where the closest emergency exits are, and it will give you a couple of these fire instructions, what to do. You can read it every day if you want to. It's not the Torah, but it gets you to safety. Okay? So, there it is, a little bigger. It will have the X on your room number, and then the arrows will show you the quickest way how to get out. Okay? And here's a couple of things. Stay calm, do not panic. Easier said than done, right? Locate the nearest stairway, count the number of rooms from your room to the stairway or near exit. Why would we do that? What the heck, right? To smoke. Because if you can't see, now at least you know, okay, if I'm coming out my apartment, I turn right, and there's 3 apartment doors, and then I'm going to be at my emergency exit. Now you know, right? If the fire is in the hallway, feel the door. If the door is not hot, seal the door with a wet towel. So there's all the instructions that are in there, and you can follow that. So you just have to kind of try to work with your anxiety, because it is real, right? I mean, that's real even for staff. It's real. You know, we're not going in this and saying, oh, no big deal. It is a big deal, right? So if you're starting to panic, just know, remember this presentation, staff is here, they're responding, they will come and get me if I need to get out. Make sense? Hi. Hello. Okay. Couple of do's and don'ts. Okay, let me get them all up. All right. So, don't walk around in the hallway. Okay? So if the alarm goes off, stay in your room. Don't walk around in the hallways, because you saw us running earlier, right? We're going to run over you. Kidding. Okay? Don't stop us. Don't stop the staff from responding to the alarm, because we got to go. And you know, normally all of us, we take the time. If you have questions, we try to answer them the best we can. If we don't have the answers, we'll find it. But not when we're responding to an emergency. We got to go, right? The same with the firefighters. That's not the time to flirt with the firefighters, okay? Please let them go, respond, and let them do what they need to do. If you are calling the front desk, don't expect long conversation. Receptionist is going to sound like she's rude, but she's not, or he, right? They just give you some quick instructions, and then they're gonna have to hang up because that front desk, has anybody ever spent a couple of minutes at that front desk? Isn't it lovely? Right? So there's phone call after phone call, and then especially when there is an emergency. There's many people that are calling, and then, the receptionist does her best to answer those questions. If you are giving instructions, please follow them. Don't argue, right? We can argue anytime, we can discuss things as long as you want to, but please not in an emergency, okay? And if you are in an activity, like right now, if the fire alarm would go off, we're gonna stay here. If you're in a dining room, stay there, right? So, and the best thing is maybe you can call your buddies, your friends, and say, hey, do you remember what Regina said, what we were supposed to do? Right? Remind each other of where the best place is for you to be. Where is our assembly spot? Just remind each other and support each other. You do it every day. Right? Any questions to that? Yeah.
What do walker users do on the second floor when they face the stairs?
Okay, good question. So, are you in building A or building F? Building A. If you, there is two ways that we can get on the even ground, right? It's on the other side of the dining room, and then here it goes over to the administration, right? So those are, but if both of those are blocked, we actually have an evacuation chair that we can get you on a roller coaster ride. Right? It's not the most fun, but we can get you downstairs safely. We would go get that chair, put you in there, strap you down, and carry you down. Right?
Ryan, you can get out with the walker.
Yes, exactly.
When you go towards the dining room, you make a right turn, and you keep on going.
Yeah,
You end up
exactly.
those steps.
Yes, exactly. So there's two ways, right? Close to, past his room, and then of course here toward the administration. And it's the same for building F, if you think about it, right? You can come from building F, you can come through here, and on the other side, yes, it is a long walk. Exercise is in the price included, right? So we're gonna go that way, and you can go to even ground. Does that make sense? But if both of these exits are blocked, or if that's where the fire is, we have an evacuation chair, and we will utilize that. Make sense? And then we're going to hopefully have the strong firemen here, because they're going to get you down. Okay? Any other questions? All right. There it is. If we need to evacuate, Seacrest Village staff or the fire department will alert you. You will find out one way or another. Have you guys ever received the voice friend messages? And now we got them through during COVID. There constantly were these messages, these text messages, right? Oh, we have another outbreak. Oh, there's another one. Oh, there's another one, right? So we're going to use that system, if need be, to alert you. Okay? Make sense? All right. So, evacuation. How can you get ready if we really have to evacuate? If Helena comes toward us, or Milton, right? If they're coming over here, what are we going to do? Because as you know right now, whole Florida is evacuated, right? How many retirement communities do you think are in Florida?
A lot.
One or two, right? So, and they all evacuated. Yeah. So what if? What if we have to evacuate? Okay, there's a couple of things that you can do already before the evacuation ever gets ordered. And that is right now. Okay? So your personal paramedic emergency information. You know how you have in your, not in assisted living, the staff has all your information, right? They know everything. But here in independent living, in your medicine cabinet, right, you have that envelope. Make sure that everything in that cabinet is updated, that it's current, okay? And every time we go to the doctor, we have a new medication list, right? Because they throw this stuff all around, right? All of a sudden we have different medication, and yeah, it's so we gotta keep that up. Gotta make sure that that is always updated, okay? The paramedic information, the medication list, your emergency contacts, right? Because sometimes people change phones or they change phone numbers and then, you know, companies, and then it changes. So we gotta make sure that the contact information is updated. Does anybody not know what a pulse or a DNR is? Okay. Do we know what a DNR is? Do not resuscitate, right? The pulse, the POLST, is a physician's order for life-sustaining treatment. So you literally sit down with your doctor, and he goes through a bunch of questions with you and explains to you, well, if this, right, happens to you, then here are your options. What do you want to have done if this happens, right? Do you want to be on life-sustaining treatment? Do you want to be on a breathing machine? Do you want to be on this machine, on that machine, right? He will go through all of that, and you can answer those questions, okay? And then if something happens, and if 911 gets called for you, they actually take that list with them, right? So that that everybody always knows your wishes, so we can follow your wishes. Does that make sense?
Will you share that if they need any of these, I have them.
Okay. Katie has those forms. She has the forms, and then you can take them to your doctor, and he will, because he needs to sign, he or she needs to sign it. Okay? So my parents, both of them, my mom passed away last year, and my dad passed away this year. Both of them had the pulse. Their wishes were very clear, and trust me, when it came to that time, and all we had to do was follow their wishes, made it easier. Not easy, easier. Because they let us know what they wanted, and that's what we did. So it's not just for you knowing, it gives you a peace of mind that people will follow, but it also gives your family a peace of mind, and they know ahead of time. These conversations are not easy, right? They're hard, because sometimes we don't want to have that with our kids, but we just have to. It just makes life a little easier. Okay? And then, of course, we're going to have a personal emergency preparedness checklist. And that's that second handout that I gave you. Oh, no. It's come later. Hold on. Come on. Really?
The arrow back.
So, we're gonna, when I get down here, I have a slide on that. But you have a little information there that kind of helps you to be a little bit more personally prepared. We'll get to it in a second. Okay, of course now. Okay, we did this. All right. Another thing that is good to have handy before any emergency happens is a flashlight right there, and you can put it under your pillow. Okay, just make sure that every now and then you check it and make sure the batteries are not corroded and that it does work when you need it to work. Right? Shoes. Why would I have shoes right by the bed? Right under the bed, right there. When you're getting up, when you put your feet down, that's where some shoes should be. Because in an earthquake, if you put your shoes somewhere else, first you have to get up, and then you might have to walk through anything broken, right? Whether it's glass or whatever else. Now you're going to have your feet hurt, and then, yeah, no good. So we should be able, and if you want to tie some shoes in a bag right there by your bedpost, that's even better. Because when we have an earthquake, these shoes start walking away. Right? So if you tie them down, then you know you're going to have some shoes right there before you get up, even in the middle of an earthquake. No, at the end of the earthquake, sorry. Okay? And then some clothes. Please, we're not going outside in our birthday suit. All right? Many of us sleep in our birthday suit, but we're not going out there outside. So let's just have something right there at the end of the bed that we could just, hop into if we need to. Not this one. Okay. So this one here is the list that I gave you, that I handed you. This is a little bit of suggestions, what you can do to get ready, what you should have in your emergency go bag if you have a go bag. And this is actually a picture from '07 when we had to evacuate and we got everybody in the buses with their go bags, right? And with whatever we had, we packed it up and went down the road. So, okay, and here, okay, so this is a map of Seacrest, right? When you're looking at it from above, if you're flying over it with the helicopter, that's what it looks like, right? So this is building A over here, and then here is building F, and here is where building A, right? You're going to come out the building, and we're going to go over here. This is Seacrest Way. You go up the parking lot, here's the Stein Center, and this is our assembly spot for building A. Okay, and for building F, we're going to go across the street, across Saxony Lane, we're going to go into the Silverado parking lot. Okay? Now building D, you guys, and I don't have that on here, but you guys are going to meet up here by the administration. Okay? The staff is going to walk out with you, and they're going to bring you over here. That's our assembly spot. And then let's say, God forbid, we cannot get back into the building, then we're actually, all of us are going to go across the street to the YMCA, and they will know that we're coming. And they're opening the doors because we talked with them. We have a memorandum of understanding with them. And then we can go inside here and wait until we have buses, until we go to where we need to go to stay there for a couple of days. Does that make sense? Okay, let me see, what's the next one? All right, here's the do's and don'ts again, right? If we have to evacuate, again, don't walk around in the hallways. Don't stop the staff from responding to the emergency, because we gotta go. Don't stop the firefighters. If they're coming in to help us evacuate, don't stop them. They will give you instructions. Don't expect long conversations from the front desk. Same thing, they're busy. Follow instructions, don't argue. And if we are in an activity, then stay there, because we need to know where you are, and then we will walk out with you. Right? If you're in the dining room, same thing, stay there, the dining room staff will walk out with you. Okay? And if you are in your room and you don't know what's going on, call your buddies if you can't get through at the front desk, because that front desk will be busy. And the same thing, if we need to evacuate, the staff will come and get you, or the fire department. Okay. Anybody ever seen this? This is a wonderful app for those of you who have smartphones and are pretty good on the smartphones. It's called the San Diego Emergency App. You can download that on your smartphone, and there is tons of information on there that is just incredible. So, and then in this green part, this is what it looks like when you open your phone and you open this app. The green part up there will give you a couple of instructions on how to be prepared. the red part, so let's say you want to leave, you don't want to stay here, but then you have to find a shelter. There will be a map on there that tells you where to go, but stay with us. We will go somewhere where we're going to be safe, where people come, and we're going to make sure that there's always enough food and that it's kosher. It's going to be a slumber party, so stay with us. Okay? And then there's the blue part, the recovery. There's lots of information. There's always the latest news, whatever is going on right now. There's not much going on, thank God, in San Diego, right? But this app is fantastic. It also has the Shake app on there connected to that. So if it gives you an alert and it says we're having an earthquake and you're thinking, oh, there's nothing happening, well, in the next couple of seconds, the earth will start shaking. So if you get that alarm, find some place where you can drop, cover, and hold on. And it's like, yeah, right, Regina, I'm not going to drop. Right? But it's better that you do that by choice than you get knocked down by the earthquake, if we have a big one. Okay? Does that all make sense? Does that kind of help a little bit? Okay. We will get you out. So I brought this little box out here because I wanted you to see the preparedness level that we have at Seacrest. Okay? I have these disaster boxes. We have 5 of these in different buildings. So God forbid we have an earthquake or anything else. The staff has all the supplies that we need to make sure to keep you safe until the fire department can get to us. Again, just picture right now Milton or Helene, right? The fire department can't get everywhere, but we're going to be here. There's always staff here, even though at night there's maybe not that much, but we're here. I came in this morning at 3 a.m. Trust me, I will find you, Joe. Okay? So, we have everything in here. You want me to open it? Have you guys heard of CERT, Community Emergency Response Team? Okay, that's an organization. It's a nonprofit organization for where you can get trained by the local fire department to be the help until help arrives. Okay, so they give you a bunch of training. It's a 28-hour class, and they show ordinary citizens how to take care of themselves and their neighborhood in the first couple of hours after a disaster strikes. So from there, because I took that training, and that's when we put this together based on the CERT backpack that they have to walk around the community. Okay, so there's a bunch of extra pens and everything in here. We have instructions, which is kind of like a first aid book, right, to let us know what we need to do. Even though we have nurses, we have pen, pads to make notes. We have a first aid kit in here. We have, what are these called? Tourniquets in here if we need them. We have emergency blankets, because you know if somebody goes into shock, then we can wrap them in this blanket to keep them warm. Right? We have extra batteries in here. We have extra headlights, because if it is dark in the middle of the night, right, we can just put the headlights on. Now we have both hands free, right, so we can take care of you. We have, God forbid somebody gets hurt, there's the triage tags. So there's a lot of stuff. Again, you know, it's for us to know how to work with this, but it helps us to take care of you until the help arrives. Yeah.
Regina, being a part of the safety committee here, I really enjoy it, and I thank you for your leadership.
Thank you.
but while you're showing us this, I'm thinking, I've never, even though I'm training on AED as a nurse, do we have an AED on campus?
No, we do not.
Any particular reason why?
Carl said no.
We-
No, it's because we have a lot of residents that have DNRs. So that's one of the, yeah, you have to ask Carl,
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
okay? He has a reason. Don't, just because I can't recall the reason right now,
Okay.
but doesn't mean, right? I trust his leadership. Okay? Yeah, we do not have AEDs. No. Okay?
You brought that up. It's been brought up by fitness center as well as in the dining room.
Yeah.
So,
And, okay.
Yeah. Okay?
thank you.
Yes. And tomorrow, I'm doing a training on the disaster kit for staff. Okay? So, yeah, so we have, and here's another thing that we have in here. It's called the Mega Movers. It's a blanket with handles. And that is, if we really can't use even the evacuation chairs, we're gonna get you out. We're gonna sit you in this, and we're gonna carry you out. The fire department actually has these on their fire truck. So when they come in, they borrow these ones that we have in the kits. Okay? Alrighty, any questions? Yeah,
We had a practice fire drill many years ago. And I did something really stupid. I went out the, what was this, emergency exit, which is next to my door. And I was chastised for doing that. I said, no, you're supposed to go through the A building and get out that way because we check the people. So, I mean, I just use common sense.
No.
I said, I'm not
Okay.
going to the A building with the fire.
okay, I don't know who did that. Okay,
When you were here, we
Okay.
weren't doing it.
okay.
10 years ago,
We go, whatever emergency exit door is closest. The only thing is on the second floor, you have to remember now you gotta go downstairs, right? So if you can't go downstairs, you might have to wait there until staff can come and help you. But you can go out any emergency exit. The only thing is then come to the assembly spot. Don't go immediately to the YMCA. Don't go to your kid's house. Come to the assembly spot. Does that make sense? Because then we're gonna take a count. Then we know that you made it out safely. Yeah,
I have heard it.
you have, mhm.
So, it was there, like,
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes. Yeah. You push your pendant. You just push your pendant. Yeah.
I think you question
Yeah.
for you, but if you have a walker, you have to go down the steps, how do you get down there?
You just wait at the top of the stairs. Okay. So if you are not able to walk downstairs, you wait there. We will come either with the chair or with the mega movers, and we will carry you. We just don't have a red carpet.
Do you take the walker?
Yes, we will take the walkers, of course. Because we know once you get downstairs, you need it. Once you're back on ground,
Just wait upstairs.
wait up there, wait, yes. Now, if you want to sit at the top of the stairs and scooch down step by step,
That's not bad,
right?
idea.
Yeah, then we just have to take the walker. I'm putting ideas in y'all's head. Okay,
We're gonna say we're practicing that.
right? Kelly, you had a question?
No, I couldn't hear that question.
Oh, she was asking, what do I do if I have a walker and I
No,
come
I
to
heard
the...
Maryland,
Oh.
I didn't hear the first.
She has
She has vertigo. Yeah, it is, right now you're at a point where you need... Whoops, sorry, my tush was talking. Now, you know, you're gonna be at that point where you need a little bit more assistance, then you have to just wait there until we come and get you. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that's okay. But, you know, and we don't have to go through all our special needs, but you know that Katie and Elizabeth and even Diana on the weekend, they know you a little bit more, and they know, where you need a little bit more assistance and where you don't. Am I right? Right? Yes. So we will come and get you. Yeah.
I'm resident of assisted living.
Mm-hmm.
It seems to me that you're in your room, you wait for help,
Mm-hmm.
and unless you're in activity,
Yeah. You wait there.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And that's really total instruction.
Yes.
That's the way it looks to me.
Yes. 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 Because most, correct me if I'm wrong, most residents in assisted living need a little bit more assistance, right? So that's why we're going to come, and there's going to be more staff coming than usually, right? You have your caregivers. We'll have the servers come and help. We'll have the housekeepers come and help. Everybody will come and help you.
No point being,
Go ahead and hit it.
It can't hurt.
It can't hurt. It can't hurt. Yeah, it's not going to get anybody there faster in an emergency, in a disaster, right? But then we know you called for help, but we're going to come around and get everybody out. Make sense? Yes.
Let's hope we don't need it.
Yes, please. That is always my prayer. That everything that I teach, hopefully, I'm wasting my time and nobody ever has to use it. But if we do have to use it, that we know a little bit how to keep ourselves safe and what you guys can do to help us. Does that make sense? Okay. Yes,
I couldn't come because
that's okay.
I'd like to know what you can do, those of us who live in the Escalade and White.
Okay. If you stick around a little bit, because we're at the end, I'll go over it with you again. Okay? All right. Questions? Anybody else?
Did you bring the go back to show or just?
Oh, yeah. How are we going to do that? When are we going to get those? Because we still have to get a bunch of supplies.
I would say probably maybe by the first of the year.
Okay, so here's the thing. Seacrest, we are working on making sure that everybody gets a go bag. But you need to be patient with us because we have to get the supplies. And our biggest problem right now is getting this bag with the logo on it, right? So we have to find a company where we can get this. We're working on it. So hopefully by the beginning of the year, we'll have a bag for everybody, right? So we can start working on the go bag, okay? And it will have a little starter kit for an emergency evacuation, right? So there's a little water in there that lasts, this one here still lasts 4 years. There's a little delicious, what is that army food called? Right? Exactly. Right? But at least if we have to go somewhere and then we get stuck on the freeway and you guys have to take medication with food, it doesn't say you have to take it with delicious food, right? It says you have to take it with food. Right? So, and then there's some water in there and it just gets you through those first couple of hours. And then you can fill in here anything that you think that you need when we have to go from point A to point B. Okay? Oh, that reminds me. By the way, my mom also had a go bag for her and my dad. But her thinking was not disaster. Her thinking was if we have to go to the hospital. And you know how quickly that goes, right? All of a sudden, you find yourself in that situation, you push the pendant, and here comes security, we're calling 911, right? Now what? So you can have a bag, this bag, you can use that for your personal emergency, where you have to go from one second to another, you have to go to the hospital. And my mom had a bag ready for herself, and she had a bag ready for my dad. And her logic was, if I have to go to the hospital, do you think your dad is going to find my underbridges? He don't know where nothing is, right? And then the logic for herself, if for my dad, if he has to go, she goes, I'm going to be so upset that I'm not going to find anything, even though I know where everything is. And so that's why she had this bag ready, one for her and one for him. So if they had to go to the hospital, all she had to do was grab my dad, grab his bag, and out the door they went. Does that make sense? So this is not just only for a countywide disaster or a disaster here at Seacrest, but also, right, God forbid you guys have to go from one second to the next to the hospital. So we're going to work on this and get this ready, and then once we have it, then we're going to let you guys know. And that's when we're going to do the evacuation drill. And then anybody that participates in the evacuation drill will receive a bag. Yes?
If you don't have a starter kit in your bag, you have extra one?
You're going to get it.
Huh?
You're going to get it in January.
Just tell her in her ear, you can move your mic.
You're gonna get one.
Okay? Got it?
Thank you.
Okay. Not yet, though. Not for Hanukkah. Okay? Wait. All right? Yeah.
Regina, I found this very interesting review for me, most of which I already knew, but I'm concerned about the people who are not here and the new residents coming in. Can you
Yeah.
do this more often for people?
Yeah, I can do it every 6 months. Yeah. I can do it every 6 months. I usually do it every, once a year in October. But yeah, I can do it every 6 months.
I would, we posted this multiple places. There's been flyers. It was on the happening. So the best thing to do at this point is share via word of mouth that you did get something out of this, that it is important to attend. That would be a huge help. We do all we can, and I'm speaking to the choir here. You all showed up. So if you can share with others something that you learned and maybe encourage them next time this is on the calendar to come, that would be amazing. We will also have, Regina made multiple flyers, so we will also have them in the building, a lobby of the packet, so anyone can grab one also and see what we talked about. It's never easy to schedule, a time that everyone's available, and you all have lives and you're busy. So this was also recorded, so there are some residents that are watching it live stream right now that couldn't make it today. And we can also play that recording again as well. But thank you. I'm glad that you took something out of it, and I hope you all have. And just encourage your fellow residents that, these are important to come to, and it's all, even if you came last year, I'm sure it's a good refresher course, so thank you.
Awesome. All right. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you,
All right.